If you're a high-performing woman who's great at showing up, checking boxes, and setting and achieving goals, but lately you've been feeling dissatisfied with your results, or your team just isn't bringing the energy, this might be why. Motivation that comes from pressure dies real fast, but motivation that comes from a deeper why lasts forever. And it multiplies across your team, and it changes the energy of the effort, and it changes the consistency of your results. In today's world of rapid change, information overload, and more competition than ever, the leaders that are actually willing to continue to learn and grow and keep up with the pace have been embracing real human behavior strategies to maximize results and revenue, to maximize income and impact. These are strategies that allow leaders to get the most out of the supercomputer in their heads and in the minds of their teams. Because at the end of the day, humans are still selling solutions to humans. Humans are still working with humans. Strategies that allow for clarity and simplicity and connection and focus are winning because pressure-based goals lead to burnout for you and your team. But purpose-based goals, why-based goals, light everyone up and make business growth and motivation and real results way easier. So if you've ever asked, why don't I feel excited about my work? Why do our results suck right now? Why is my team not showing the ownership or the energy I'm expecting? Why does growth feel heavy instead of energizing? What's the point of all this work? This video is going to walk you through the only motivation strategy women leaders need to make business growth and real results way easier, to reconnect you and your team with the strategy that keeps everyone aligned, energized, and making progress without burnout. Okay? Honestly, I used to run on pressure and fear-based motivation. Most of us grew up in a logic-first system. So in my first business, in my mid-20s, I was fueled by urgency and hustle and proving myself. We raised money, we had growth, we were landing and onboarding clients across North America, and while I had a meaningful why, I was chasing results from a place of pressure and not from my purpose. And that is the kind of hustle that is absolutely exhausting. And my team was overworked. So when the pandemic hit, we lost focus. Fear took over and our why wasn't strong enough collectively to keep us moving. So after a few career pivots, a few leadership roles, and becoming a mom, I finally locked onto a purpose-based why rooted in my values, my desires, my income, and my impact. And now results feel easier and more aligned. And as I teach this to my clients, their motivation and their team's motivation, their leadership, it all improves. This isn't mindset fluff. It is neuroscience and human behavior. And it's what I now teach to women leaders to create consistent, aligned growth. Okay, let's talk about why motivation fades, whether it's yours or your team's. Okay, so most business goals are built on pressure to hit numbers, fear of failure or falling behind, and just that constant urgency to perform, right? These goals trigger the stress response, the survival mode. And when your brain is in survival mode, it's not focused on growth or impact. It's not focused on the goal. It's not focused on expansion. It's not focused on new opportunities. It's not positive at all. It's like trying to run a race while looking backwards, looking at what you're running from. Short bursts of effort, yeah, that can be created by pressure-based motivation, but no long-term ownership or fulfillment is created that way. Pressure-driven motivation creates burnout and mediocre results. Purpose-driven motivation creates focus and energy and sustainable progress and meaningful results. So what do I mean by purpose versus logic? Okay, so most women leaders I coach are very logical, as am I. They think this is the activity I'm supposed to be doing. This is the number that we have to hit. This email script works, even though it's not how I'd actually speak. Logic-based goals and tasks can support structure, they can support the systems, but they don't create a lot of buy-in or creativity from the people executing the systems. So if you want humans to show up fully, I'm not saying throw your systems out the window, but if you want humans to show up fully, yourself included, you have to give them something meaningful to connect to. So for you, that might be, okay, building a business that supports your lifestyle or working in a role that's aligned with your values and strengths, creating time freedom for you and for your family. And for your team, that could be contributing to a mission that they believe in, feeling seen and trusted and part of something that matters. And when motivation is purpose-based, energy aligns with action and results flow naturally, okay? So let's talk about the self-determination theory. The self-determination theory tells us that long-lasting motivation comes from meeting 3 core needs, okay? Autonomy, that's ownership and choice. Competence, feeling capable and effective, and relatedness, feeling connected to purpose or to people. And I like to call them the 3 C's, just to make it a little easier. So choice, capability, and connection. Teams and motivation comes from choice, capability, and connection. Okay, if you support these in your leadership and in your goals, you unlock sustainable drive. Okay, autonomy might look like for you designing a workday around your life. For me, it's 9:30 to 3:30, so I can do school drop off and pick up and still grow my business every single day. For your team, it could look like letting them own how they execute and not micromanaging every single piece of their puzzle. Competence could look like for you getting coaching or getting mentorship or getting feedback to allow you to lead or grow at the next level. For your team, that could mean giving them the tools and the context to succeed and grow and then letting them run with it. Relatedness might look like for you connecting your work to your family's future or to your long-term wealth goals or to the legacy you want to leave. And for your team, it can mean showing how their role actually impacts real people, sharing client wins, recognizing their effort. Because when people feel empowered, skilled, and connected, they care way more. They lead themselves better and they grow with you. Okay, so let's activate your why with 2 paths, one for you, one for your team. So for you, journal or voice note on these prompts. Why is building your dream business or your dream career important to you? Why does it matter? What does this allow you to create for yourself, your family, your health, your wealth? What kind of impact do you want to have? What ripple effect does your work create? And this final one, why do I get to have this life? Why do I get to do work I love? Why does this matter to the people I love? This is your fuel. This is digging deep to find your fuel. So come back to it often. For your team, try this simple 15-minute exercise that I call performance with purpose. So ask your team, what do you actually do here? What do others rely on you for? Who benefits from your work? What ripple effect might that create? And give them this fill in the blank, okay? When I do my job well, I make blank easier, better, more efficient, whatever. When I do my job well, I make blank easier for blank. For who? Working here allows me to blank. Make money, make an impact, support others, whatever it might be, which matters to me because blank, okay? This is how you shift your culture and your purpose from burnout to buy-in, from pressure to purpose, from compliance to contribution. Okay, if you want this as a printable team tool, check the description. I will link my free download, Performance with Purpose, the motivation map for leaders. And now I want to help you lock this in, okay? Write or have your team reflect upon, why is it important for me to get up and do this work every day? This matters to me, my family, and the world because why? And because it's rooted in purpose, success gets to feel easy, okay? This is how you train your brain or the brains of the people on your team to believe in your goals and stay aligned with action, okay? Now, drop a comment if you're willing with one sentence that captures your deeper why. Share this video with a teammate who needs a fresh spark. And don't miss the next video, The Psychology of Growth Energy, how women leaders attract clients, opportunities, and results without overworking, okay? It's gonna be great. Let me leave you with this. You don't need to push harder. You don't need more pressure. You need purpose-aligned motivation for you and your team. When you are clear on your why and your team is too, results get easier, energy flows, and success becomes sustainable. Now, if you want weekly reflection and accountability and support to build this kind of aligned success, book a call and let's chat about what's next. And whether you do it with me or on your own, you've got this. I believe in you. You're an amazing leader. I will see you in the next video.